సార్ ఐ నీడ్ స్క్రీన్ షేరింగ్. ఇంకా ఆప్షన్ ఇవ్వలేదు.
I'll give everyone, and we are live now. Over to you, Captain.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening to all the health enthusiasts and especially gut warriors. That's how I would like to call you guys. See, you all assembled here in this digital platform in this webinar with a common objective to learn about gut health, probably to understand what this gut reset is all about. Probably you could be facing some gut issues, maybe looking forward to some holistic solutions, or probably you heard about us through one of your friends or relatives, the community, the Warriors of Wellness, the WOW community, which has been like kind of helping thousands of people in reversing their hormonal issues like obesity, type 2 diabetes, PCOD, etc. So you already have an insight about what this community is all about. So I would like to take the privilege of introducing this community to you this evening. My name is Raja Naren. I'm the founder of WOW, the Warriors of Wellness, a wellness community, which is a global company which works on the aforementioned hormonal disorders. We are a team of nutritionists, dietitians, wellness coaches, and doctors. So this evening, as you already are aware, we'll be working on this idea of gut reset, but this is just a curtain raiser kind of event. The real gut reset workshop, which we are planning, is going to be, it's a 5-day program which will launch on 9th of this month for the registered candidates. So before I proceed and I start introducing you to the expert speakers who are present here to help all of us out, I would like to take this opportunity to take you through few tremendous lines that I read from a book called Super Gut, okay, which is a very popular book on just not on gut health, your overall health. So this is how the author ends the book. Can you be 40 years old for the next 60 years? Just, just give it a thought, okay? How could it be if your age stops at certain point? See, no one has cracked the code on living an additional 20 years or 50 years or 100 years. Sure, claims are made, but there's no real evidence. And does living longer mean hobbling around with a cane or a walker, living with a deteriorating memory that keeps you from recognizing family and friends, and being so frail, maybe confined to some hospitals, that you need to rely on others even to accomplish the most basic activities of life? You keep seeing these things, right? This is a very common sight these days. And the achievable goal here is not to extend the lifespan with the support of some medications, being in ICUs, the support of ventilators. The goal here is to improve the health span, the lifespan, so that you really feel like you can still run like the way you're running now. If at all you're running, you can still feel like jumping. You can still feel like dancing, maybe making love and doing the things that really make humans as humans for as long as possible. And if you really understand the depth of these lines, guys, to achieve this by understanding and applying the wisdom of this is possible if you really understand that there are like trillions of microbes we carry in our system. And this is not just possible by you alone. You have to understand those microbes. And this session is all about those microbes. If you can do that, yes, you can arrest aging probably at 35, 40, 45, 50, and go on to celebrate birthday after birthday, still capable of doing those 50 push-ups with no deep wrinkles, no osteoporotic fractures, no lost interest in social interactions. What if we could still laugh and attend social events at age 90 after biking 30 kilometers or dancing that samba? So what if we could still look lustily at our partner and plan the next holiday trip? So with super gut strategies, I think that we take several steps closer to such a reality. With this introduction, because what you're going to witness this evening is about making your gut a super gut. So I'm privileged and honored to introduce the eminent speakers here. First, let them say hi to you. Dr. Suma, all the way from Guntur, who is a pathologist. Suma, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Suma. I'm a pathologist by profession, and I'm a senior wellness coach in WOW community.
And we have here Dr. Priyanka from Rajamandri.
Yeah. Hi, good evening all. This is Dr. Priyanka Ansuri from Rajmandri. I'm a MD general physician and working as a wellness coach from WOW community.
Thank you, doctor. And we have Dr. Sri Priya here from Guntur.
Hi, everybody. Myself, Dr. Sri Priya. I am an ID specialist and also functional coach.
Thank you. And we have Sagar, who is head of Beats Wellness divisions and one of the renowned nutritionists. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Sagar, functional nutritionist and senior dietitian.
Thanks, everybody. Let me start this session by asking some questions to Sagar first. Sagar, I mean, in this book, there is a very, very deep statement that the author made, which says, how many days you are left with on this planet is decided by how good is your gut. This is a bold statement. I mean, I repeat, let me repeat the statement, okay? Just in case somebody missed the statement. Your gut decides how many more days you are going to live. See, this is such a bold statement, and to be honest, a bitter statement too, considering the fact that 8 to 9 people out of every 10 people have gut issues. So I just want you to elaborate this statement and make our audience and viewers aware of this.
Yeah, everyone knows this and it has many questions in it. Let me put it in the fundamental way. So I would like to share a few statistics and pictures for you so that it is very exciting for you. As you rightly mentioned, it's not the scenario just in India, it's everywhere in the world. Though the statistics says 7 out of 10, it's clearly now, this is the last year one, now it is very closely 8 or 9 out of 10 has some kind of digestive health issues all over the planet. You see, before 10 years, the scenario is very, very different. When you have some digestive issues, it's very closely for 40 or 50 year and above. Now, no, now children of 1 year, 2 year age, even toddlers come to me asking some solution for their potty every day or bowel movement every day. I am sure most of you must be experiencing in your homes too. It's a every home thing now. It's not a society or community thing. When it's very evident that most of the times, almost every person in the family has some kind of digestive issues in some stages of life, if not regularly. For most of them who neglected or for some other reasons, it is all along the life. And it's not just that. Before we get into the actual topic, I would let you know what is gut. Right from the mouth to the anal region, all the lining, it's called gut. So mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. So this is gut. Problem could be at one area, problem could be in the multiple areas, problem could be small or big based on the time and the period and the intensity. So now I would really like to let you know that what exactly this the gut microbiome does. When you look into this picture on the screen, this is exactly what gut does. First is the left side bottom on the screen, metabolism, the digestion and absorption, the primary fuel for the body. You see, for every person who has some kind of digestion issue, the first thing that you would always have was fatigue. Fatigue every day, all along the day, right from morning till evening. Some could wake up and just want to sleep for some more time, dragging their bodies all along the day. Some couldn't sleep well all along the night, even though they are in the bed for 2, 3, 4 hours, they could not sleep well. That's because when there is a metabolic issues, whatever that you eat, though you're eating a good meal, it's not getting digested, not getting absorbed as well. This is the first thing that is getting disrupted in the system, which means there is a lot of inertia in the system, which means your system need a lot of maintenance. Say if you buy a car, say if you go for a servicing once in 3 months, that's okay. If your car is asking service every alternate day, that's a nuisance. That's what is happening with most of our bodies these days. No diseases, but no energy too. It's a lot of inertia in the body. System could not function well. It is not getting lubricated well. That is where the fundamental aspects, hunger, appetite, or digestion, or sleep, or recovery, all this is being disrupted big way. And the next thing that would happen was the gut and the brain connection. So every time when the mind is upset, body is upset, and the body is upset, the mind is upset. Say for example, if you're eating your favorite biryani and you got a phone call telling that you're laid out from your job, can you eat the biryani? The mind and the body are very closely related. Okay, you can eat it only if you celebrate your layoff though. So what happens is it affects your mood a very big way. Okay, your satiety signal, one main reason for obesity, you eat and you don't feel like it is filled. So we keep on eating. And the pain and the inflammation that's coming next, a lot of headaches, a lot of muscle pains, all these things. So this is one part of it. Look at the other end of it. When these two things are happening, the third thing that is going to happen was the big one. It is the immune system. The defense is getting disrupted. The mucus integrity has been breached. There is a lot of leak happening. And then what happens is there is a lot of Intolerance is developing. You see people tell me that I could not eat groundnuts, I could not eat egg, I could not drink milk, I could not eat chicken, I could not eat masala food outside. Everything is fine, but when I eat out, it's causing gastritis, all these things. The intolerance is being multiplied over and over again. So all these things put together, this is what exactly is the quality of life. So the fundamental meaning of the statement is, when you are not having good health, you're draining your battery, your life vibrancy on daily basis. So it means that it doesn't kill you in a single stretch. It's like slow killing, which means that you could not sleep well, you could not move well, you could not think well. Okay, you could not, you don't have much energies, all these things multiplying every day. And from here, it gets into worse, you into a lot of diseases. And when there is a lot of diseases, it's very difficult to identify where the problem is really. And 90% of all diseases today, 90% of all diseases is just because of gut imbalance. So this is how it disrupts the quality of life. So back to Naren. Cannot hear you. You're on.
Thank you very much, Sagar. See, you mentioned about that gut microbiome. Can you just throw a little more light on this concept of microbiome, gut microbiome?
For some of you who is hearing this for the first time, maybe this would be very, very fascinating for you. The invisible us, if you're thinking who is that we are talking about, it is something about us that we could not see. Okay, so what you're saying is your own hands and the invisible us. You don't see anything right now, but when you look into the microscope, you see a lot of microbes. And the quantity is really outnumbered. See, every palm of yours will be having microbiome numbers equal to more number of people on this planet, every palm. ఓకే, మీ అరచేతిని మీరు చూస్తే మీ అరచేతి మీద ఎన్ని మైక్రోబ్స్ ఉంటాయంటే ఈ ప్లానెట్ లో ఎంతమంది మనుషులు ఉన్నారో అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ. వన్ పామ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ దట్ బిగ్. అండ్ దేర్ ఆర్ ఫ్యూ మోర్ ఎక్సైటింగ్ థింగ్స్ ఐ వుడ్ లైక్ టు షేర్ విత్ యూ. You talk about who is the strongest residents. They are the strongest residents, not us. Okay, remember COVID? It vanished most of us. So the microbes, okay? So microbes are the first and the oldest residents on the planet, 3.5 billion year old, more powerful than all the species. And our bodies contain about 100 trillion microbes. So this is generally with microbes, okay? When we talk about gut microbiome, so in our body, we find most of the microbiome on the skin and next in the gut. Of course, we also has urogenital tract and oral area where we find microbiome in the other regions. But dominantly what we are really concerned was gut because it is related to most of the other functions. So very closely 2 kg of our gut, the weight of our microbiome would be 2 kg in the gut, okay? And there are about, for every gram of intestinal content, every gram, if your weight 100 kgs, gut would be around very closely 10 kgs or more than 10 kgs. For every gram, it is 100 billion bacteria. Can you imagine? For every gram of the intestinal content, it is 100 billion bacteria. And 90% of the times we fight with weight loss not happening, and 90% it is decided by the gut microbiome. And it is not just it. Gut contains 100 million neurons in our gut. So which is also called the second brain in our body. That is why the mind and the body is always interrelated. Okay, so our gut is our second brain. And when you look at the different species, there are about 10,000 different species of microbiome identified in the human body, 10,000. And they are 10 times to 100 times more in number than our body cells. Okay, and it's not that. The very fascinating thing was this. See, when you look at the difference between you and me, or you or any other person on this planet, we are 99% same with our genome. ఒక మనిషి మీరుగా ఇంకెవరితో అయినా మనిషితో ఈ ప్లానెట్ మొత్తం పైన పోల్చుకుంటే వాళ్ళకి మీకు ఉండే జీనోమిక్ సంబంధం 99% సేమ్ ఉంటుందంట. 99% సేమ్. మనం ఎవరినైనా చూస్తే అరే వీడు మనిషిలా లేడే అని అనం కదా. ఓకే, సో బట్ when look at the microbiome, it is very individually specific. It's like a fingerprint. Your microbiome will not be there for even for your family members most of the time. 90 to 95% the microbiome is individually different. It is that's the beauty. Every person is different. It's like DNA fingerprint. Every person is very unique. That is why what works for someone is not working for some other one with respect to weight loss, because your microbiome is different. Your food needs are different. Okay, so when you look at the length, when all the microbiome is put end on end, the length is with that length we could travel the globe 2.5 times. That's the length of the bacteria in our body. Okay, then this is the most fascinating thing. Where do we get started with it? It is when we are in our mother's womb. So the gut bacteria translocates from the mother intestines through the placenta, and from the placenta it enters the breast milk. And this is a very, very special thing. Most of us think about immunity with gut, and this is a very, very classical example. Say if the baby is getting fever, if a baby had fever, the mother takes the baby. Now the mother is also infected with the fever. The microbiome in the gut works in such a way that all the immunity things come into the breast milk, and now through the feeding the baby's fever is solved. ఎవరన్నా చిన్న బేబీకి ఫీవర్ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, వాళ్ళ మదర్ తన బేబీని ఎత్తుకుంటే ఇప్పుడు బేబీ నుంచి మదర్కి ఆ ఫీవర్ ఇన్ఫెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. మదర్ బాడీలో యాంటీబాడీస్ అన్ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ అయ్యి అవి బ్రెస్ట్ మిల్క్లోకి వచ్చి ఇప్పుడు బేబీ ఆ మిల్క్ తాగితే చాలు, మదర్ మిల్క్, ఫీవర్ తగ్గిపోతుంది. This is a very, very classical example of how microbiome really, what do you say, program our immune system even before we are born. Okay, hope you would love this exciting facts, and back to Naren.
Thank you, Sagar. See, when you are telling all these about the numbers, especially numbers, fascinating numbers, in fact, the number of bacteria, viruses that we have inside us. This reminds me of some forwarded joke I recently read, because I keep going through these health blogs. So in one of those Insta things, I read this. Okay, whenever you feel depressed, or whenever you really feel that you're very lonely, because loneliness is the cause of this depression usually, right? So whenever you really feel lonely, don't really feel lonely, because you have more than 100 trillion organisms inside you who basically looking up to you. Right? Some of them good, some of them bad, but they depend on you. So you are definitely not lonely. That's what Sagar basically mentioned. Okay, so now my next question is to Dr. Priya here. Dr. Priya, see, this is a very popular age-old statement that we have heard many a time. All disease begins in the gut, made by the father of medicine, Hippocrates himself. So as a specialist doctor, can you just explain this statement?
Yeah, this is a very good question. The thing is, Hippocrates, who is called as the father of medicine, gave this, as you told. But before Christ, what people used to think is, if anybody gets a disease, it's because God gives them the punishment. But this is, and Hippocrates gave this as a wrong theory. Like punishment అనేది disease cause చేయదు. Environmental factors అంటే మన చుట్టూ ఏ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ లో అయితే ఉన్నామో ఆ వాతావరణం, డైట్, మీన్స్ whatever food we take, మనం తీసుకునే ఆహారం, living habits అంటే మన జీవన శైలి, all these three factors, these are the things that causes the disease. This is the theory given by Hippocrates. While proving this, he gave the statement as all diseases begin in the gut. Why? Because gut flow, whatever food we take in the gut, it is being digested, right? But because of the intestinal barrier or whatever protective mechanism we have, gut is already having a protective mechanism, and it is causing the immunity with a good bacteria. We have good bacteria, and when this good bacteria, అంటే మన బాడీలో ఉండే బ్యాక్టీరియా ఏదైతే ఉందో అది గుడ్ బ్యాక్టీరియా అయి ఉండొచ్చు, బ్యాడ్ బ్యాక్టీరియా కూడా అయి ఉండొచ్చు. ఓకే, వెన్ ఫుడ్ వి టేక్, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఫుడ్ వి కన్స్యూమ్, దిస్ గుడ్ బ్యాక్టీరియా విల్ టేక్ ఇట్, like the oligosaccharides and all, we can't even digest. That will be the probiotics for this good bacteria. Okay, ఇట్లా మన gut లోనే ఏదైనా తేడా జరిగితే, అంటే if you get any imbalances in the gut, then it will be the root cause for the disease. This is how Hippocrates explained in his theory. So gut health is a very good power for all of us to get rid of all the diseases.
And I mean, is this what gut dysbiosis is? I mean, whatever
This is named as gut dysbiosis. Imbalance ఏదైతే ఉందో, whenever we get the imbalance, it is called as gut dysbiosis.
So what factors affect this? I mean, this gut microbiome, what causes this dysbiosis?
So మన లైఫ్ సైకిల్ తీసుకుంటే, like when we are in the mother's womb, okay, as Sagar sir said, when we are in the womb, through the placenta, we get good microbes from the mother. But whatever action is there, we get it after life. But the first thing is the type of delivery. Few kids, like few children or the infants who are through vaginal delivery, or they don't get diseases much. Okay, when the kids who are born through C-section, ఆపరేషన్ జరిగి కనుక బిడ్డ బయటకు వస్తే వాళ్ళకి కొంచెం ఎక్కువ డిసీజెస్ వస్తాయి, వెజినల్ డెలివరీ ద్వారా రావు. ఈ రెండు ఎందుకు అంటారంటే, the good bacteria, first of all, it comes from the mother's placenta. So this is the first factor. Okay, how we take birth. And next, whether the mother is feeding or not, breast milk will be having a good set of microbes, good bacteria mother milk లో ఉంటుంది. సో తల్లి పాలు తాగిన పిల్లలకి ఎటువంటి డిసీజెస్ రావు, ఒకవేళ వచ్చినా తొందరగా తగ్గిపోతాయి. ఎందుకు అనంటే దట్ గివ్స్ ద ఇమ్యూనిటీ, రోగ నిరోధక శక్తి అనేది పెంచుతుంది. దిస్ ఇస్ ద సెకండ్ ఫ్యాక్టర్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇఫ్ యు టేక్, ఒక బాబు పుట్టాడు, కొంచెం పెరిగాడు, 3 years తర్వాత నుంచి వాట్ ఎవర్ ఫుడ్ హీ కన్స్యూమ్స్, అంటే ఎటువంటి తిండి తిన్నా సరే, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఫుడ్ హీ గివ్స్ ఇన్సైడ్, అంటే తన డైట్ మూలంగా లోపల ఉన్న గుడ్ బ్యాక్టీరియా, వాట్ ఎవర్ బ్యాక్టీరియా వీ హ్యావ్ ఇన్సైడ్, అవి ఇంబ్యాలెన్స్ చెందుతాయి. సో దిస్ ఈస్ వన్ మోర్ ఫ్యాక్టర్, ద డైట్. Third and fourth one is the immunity. 80% of the immune cells lie in GI tract. ఓకే, మన ఉండే GI tract లోనే 80% ఆఫ్ ద ఇమ్యూన్ సెల్స్ ఉంటాయి. మన రోగ నిరోధక శక్తి బాగుంది అని అంటే మన GI tract అంతా నీట్ గా ఉన్నట్టు. సో ఈ ఇమ్యూన్ సిస్టమ్ కి సంబంధించిన డిసీజెస్ లైక్ ఆటో ఇమ్యూన్ డిసీజెస్ అన్ని కూడా ఈ గట్ మైక్రోబియం, దిస్ ఇస్ వన్ ఫ్యాక్టర్, ద ఇమ్యూనిటీ. సో ఓకే ఫైన్, ఒక బాగున్నాడు, తిన్నాడు, హీ గాట్ సమ్ ఫుడ్ పాయిజనింగ్. సో డాక్టర్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్తే ఏం సజెస్ట్ చేస్తారు? యాంటీబయాటిక్స్ సజెస్ట్ చేస్తారు. సో యాంటీబయాటిక్స్ డాక్టర్ సజెస్ట్ చేసినవి ఒకవేళ మిస్యూజ్ చేసిన, గుడ్ బ్యాక్టీరియాని ప్రాపర్ గా మనము రెగ్యులేట్ చేయలేకపోయినా సరే, దిస్ కాజెస్ gut microbiome dysbiosis. Okay, so the other factor will be antibiotic usage. So all these factors make the gut dysbiosis.
Cool, thank you very much. And I mean, next I would like to talk to Dr. Suma here. So what are the symptoms, Dr. Suma, of an unhealthy gut? Because there'll be many people in the call who will be under an assumption that, yeah, am I healthy or unhealthy? I mean, this is not an issue. So what exactly are the symptoms?
Most of the symptoms, definitely some or the other in this call might be facing. This- See, most of us, at least the combination of things we might be facing on a daily basis. It might be just a bloated feel or the altered bowel habits. Like some people might be experiencing the constipation, the hard stools. Some people might be going only not on daily basis, in a 2 to 3 days basis or something like that. Definitely, that is not a good thing. And some people might be having diarrhea. The altered consistency of the stool or altered color. It might be pale or it might be smelling bad, and they might be going more than 4 times a day or immediately after food intake, which is not a good symptom. And some people might be facing the joint complaints, having the severe pains or stiffness and skin complaints. Some people might be experiencing acne issues. They might be thinking that because of the external factors or hormonal changes, but that might be the reason might be the poor gut health. So and tiredness throughout the day, even after having a good night's sleep, that might be a symptom of very poor gut health. And having more sweet cravings, because when the gut microbiome is very imbalanced, definitely we crave more for sugars. And the food intolerances, because nowadays this food allergies or food sensitivities became quite very popular, and we most of us might be taking some or other anti-allergics and all on their own basis. But the thing is, it might be due to the leaky gut or improper gut health you are experiencing in the form of that food sensitivities or food allergies, skin rashes and all, and brain for complete confused state of mind or lack of clarity and focus, unable to focus more on the daily routine patterns. These are some of the common symptoms which people face regularly. And I want to add few more things which you might not know. Any recent infection, gut infection in the past 5 years, definitely that might be an indication that you are having a very poor gut health right now. As mentioned, unexplained stiff joints or pain in joints, along with that unexplained muscle aches are also an indication. Because the autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, or nowadays we keep on hearing like connective tissue diseases and many more, even autoimmune thyroiditis, these all start from this poor gut health. And if you are having recurrent abdominal pains or having the pain while passing the stool or just before, that is an indication of very poor gut health. So just check whether you are having any one or combination of these symptoms. These need to be addressed immediately.
Thank you, Dr. Suma. And in the symptoms that Dr. Suma just mentioned, there is constipation. And yes, people sometimes see the definitions. Sometimes we have to understand if you are passing a stool once in a day, and if you really think, yeah, you're not constipated, you have to rethink again, because you eat 3 times a day. That means 21 times in a week. So you are excreting only 7 times in a whole week. That means 14 meals are still remaining in your gut, right? That's what this book says. 14 meals are still remaining in your gut, probably rotting. I mean, they are the ones who are creating that dysbiosis that Dr. Priya just mentioned. That is what is constipation also again. Okay, so that is why we need this reset. And Suma, one more question to you. Symptoms, whatever you just mentioned, like bad breath, could be constipation, could be diarrhea or abdominal pain or fatigue, or these are, they don't look very frightening. But I read and I keep hearing from some gut experts that it's because of gut. There are certain types of really deadly diseases like cancers, maybe even heart attacks. So can you talk a little about it? Some really threatening diseases. I mean, it is because constipation or acidity, people sometimes they are not worried too much about it. Suma,
Yeah. So see, most of us will be hearing only the gut-related diseases most often, like inflammatory bowel diseases or irritable bowel diseases, but that's not the only thing. See, and we keep hearing that gut is the second brain, gut-brain axis is all, but these are not only the limited things which people are facing because of the poor gut health. And I definitely want to show you this. You name any organ in the body, definitely that is getting affected because of the poor gut health. As mentioned now, you take the gut-brain axis, the people nowadays are facing lots and lots of stress because of the daily working pattern, or you take I mean jobs or whatever life things, and they're facing anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. Definitely the stress is causing the gut to leak. When the cells lining the gut, due to stress, there will be gaps created in between them, and when the foods or the bacteria leak into the bloodstream, that is causing many issues. So if it is affecting the gut-brain axis, you are facing one or other mental health issues, and if it is affecting the gut-heart axis, definitely you might be more prone for cardiovascular diseases or hypertension, atherosclerosis, you name anything related to heart. And yeah, coming to the metabolic disorders, nowadays, one in every 4 people of having the diabetes or obesity or some other, PCOD or some other other hormonal disorders. And that is related to your poor gut health and lung issues. You take, before Sagar Garu also mentioned regarding that COVID and all. So it's all because of poor immunity that created lung disorders also. And you take liver inflammations, the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease became quite very popular nowadays because it's not due to alcohol, as mentioned in the name itself. And many infections nowadays people are facing, it's because of the poor gut health. And diabetes, as mentioned, osteoporosis, and psoriasis. This is one of the autoimmune diseases people are facing, and definitely poor gut health and stress are the stimulating factors. And you take gut reproductive axis, nowadays people are facing, because of PCOD and all, infertility became quite very common, and infertility centers are there in each and every street and in every place. And UTI also, this became very frequent. Every individual are getting these UTIs, and which are becoming really very chronic, not getting cured that easily. So you take any organ that is getting infected just because of poor gut health.
thank you very much. And Priyanka, Dr. Priyanka, see, you definitely must be aware of people using this over-the-counter medications like Eno or Gelusil or this Pantop. I mean, they just don't even consider talking to a physician before doing this. It's become a habit for many people. They just eat a biryani or eat lots of masala and they pop up one pill. Do you think, I mean, do you say it's a long-term solution? Is it a long-term solution, or is it how is it going to, I mean, adversely affect the gut microbiome in the long run?
Yeah. Hi. So as you said, people taking Eno and Pantop, if we see when patients come to us, they come with a diagnosis of heartburn, saying they have gastritis. The most common drug they keep taking is proton pump inhibitors like and pantoprazole, and some may be using Eno and all, and a few antacids. Antacids, they have a property to remove the calcium from your body, causing osteoporosis in the long run. And some antacids, they have calcium, and if you're taking it in an excessive amount, they may cause kidney stones in the long run. So these are some risk factors if you're chronically, for using for a prolonged period. And a very rare side effect, but even pantoprazole can cause an interstitial nephritis if you're using it for many years. And even including doctors, most of the time, if they're having a chest pain, thinking it to be gastritis, they often omit a very serious complaint like having heart attacks, which is very rampant these days, even in young people. Previously, we used to have some age factor to have myocardial infarction, heart strokes, but these days age is not a factor. So most often gastritis is mistaken for heart pain, where MIs are misdiagnosed. So if you're not feeling relief with any of these medications, it is important you consult your doctor at least by 2 weeks, because there is something underlying pathology inside your stomach or esophagus where an ulcer might be there, which needs healing, and other agents have to be used. Sometimes there may be a bacterial infection called H. pylori, which will be causing gastritis, which needs to have a complete course of antibiotic for it to remove it. So this irrational has to be use of antacid should be stopped. And if you're facing the same problem for 2 weeks and you're not getting any relief, better consult a specialist.
And how about the adverse effect of certain types of medications that people keep using?
Regarding, is it antibiotics?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So even antibiotics, they are easily available over the counter these days. And what people doesn't know is when you want to fight an infection, you're using an antibiotic. It has to be used the right antibiotic, the right in right concentration and in right dosing. But once they start taking the antibiotic, after 48 hours, they find some relief because the antibiotic starts acting. Once they start finding that relief, they stop using that. That is where the real problem starts. So this microorganisms where the antibiotic was acting, once the concentration level drops, they start developing resistance to that antibiotic, and they develop as microbial resistant organisms, where you need to go for higher antibiotics. The problem which can be solved at a lower level, we ourselves are making it a major problem by using this irrational way of antibiotics. Whenever an antibiotic needs to be used, always do it under the guidance of a consultant, a qualified doctor, because each antibiotic works with a particular mechanism on the organism, working on the cell wall or the DNA or RNA of the organism. So what antibiotic needs to be used for what organism is given by a consultant, which many of the unqualified people do not know, and these are rampantly taken over the counter and misused.
Okay, thank you. Sagar, over to you, Sagar. What exactly, now that we got enough insights on the gut, the health issues related to gut, and the microbiome, what exactly is a gut reset? Which is what this whole session is all about. Sagar, you're muted.
Yeah. So we are talking about gut reset. The most dominant one that is affected, that is to be affected, was the large intestine. So in few cases that has been seen, they have found about 5, 10, 15 kgs of undigested or rotten stool in the intestine, in the large intestine of few patients with cancers, mostly intestinal cancers. So it's been there almost all their lifetime, 5, 10, 15 kgs. So it's been, so intestines had a hard time eliminating it and processing all the nutrition, digestion, absorption, metabolism with it in the system. And most of the toxins, the place that they can easily accumulate is the large intestine. So it is very, very evident that clean digestion is high energy or high immunity. And this is the first thing that has to be noted with respect to health. A physician, of course, not these days. These days, there is a lot of technology. A physician before maybe 20 years earlier, three things that they really rule out. One is, is the patient sleeping well? Second thing, is the patient having good appetite? The third thing, is he having a good bowel movement? If all these three are a yes, then they understand that the problem is not much bigger. These are the very three fundamental things that most of the physicians rule out at the fundamental level. But when you see these days, all these three are disrupted in most of the healthy individuals also. No good sleep, no good hunger, no good bowel movement. And this is the aspect where all the diseases are in a rise. Maybe some comes very, very near and some a little far. So what are the important symptoms? Though Dr. Soma has also told many things, but I would like to show it one more time. Digestive issues continuously. If you're seeing some continuous digestive issues. And next, it would be in the mood, continuous mood issues, because mind and gut is always related. The third one is vitamin and mineral deficiencies. In a country like India, where the sunlight is there for almost an year, except 1-2 months, 90% of the population is vitamin D deficient. So it is not the problem with the sun, the problem is with the gut. There is a lot of vitamin D coming in, but we could not absorb and assimilate it. The same with vitamin B12 as well. And the next thing that comes in was, and this is the biggest hit of all, inflammation. Pain and then the inflammation, and this throws the body into autoimmune diseases. This is where the intolerances really begin. And the number goes on. I could not eat lemon, I could not eat sandwich, I could not eat outside. The number multiplies. So you see, when I see a patient before 5 years, he has 1 or 2 intolerances. If not taken care, if I meet him again after 5 years, he has 10 to 12 intolerances. And when there is this much of inertia going on in the system, the chief thing that you see was lack of energy. See, if your car is getting fuel, now the tank is full, and if your engine needs a 1 hour break, it's very weird, right? It's the same with the body. We have a meal in the lunch, and we feel like shutting off for another 1 hour. We feel like having a nap. We feel like not doing anything. And most of the companies claim that was the most unproductive hour in the day, the hour after the lunch. See, when we fuel it, food is fuel, right? When we fuel it, we should be with more energy. The opposite thing is happening. It is that friction that's seen in the body on a daily basis. So, and this is not it. This takes to the one more area where all the weakest areas are affected, and from there it's not related to just gut, it is to every part of the body. And this is what Dr. Sumo was mentioning, leaky gut. See, when all the nutrients are ready to get transported in the small intestine, the gut wall, one side of it is the small intestine, which is ready with the nutrients. The other side is the blood vessel. Okay. So now this wall, if the wall is integrity is disrupted or breached, what happens is it's like a small net which has the net can filter only all the final smallest nutrients into the blood. Now, if the wall integrity is breached, the holes are getting bigger. Now, the undigested food particles, before they get converted into nutrients, the undigested food particles, they're getting into the blood. For the body, the immune system in the blood, any foreign particle is like any foreign body and it starts attacking. And the easiest ones that are seen was the gluten from the wheat and the lactose from the milk. These two particles enter this breach very easily. This is what we call leaky gut. Now the food particles, without being converted to nutrients and without being digested fully, is entering into the blood and body starts attacking it. And it chooses the weakest area of attack, maybe thyroid, maybe for some it is arthritis in the joints, for some it could be any other area. And from there, the intolerances, the number of list begins one more, and it throws them into autoimmune disorders. Every time when they have milk, every time when they have gluten like chapati, body starts attacking. Every time. This is what throws us into autoimmune diseases. So when you look at the areas, every area is affected. And you're talking about depression and loneliness. Loneliness is the incubation period before depression. When my daughter says I'm bored, that was the most fearing thing for me, because I don't want her to be bored, because next thing was loneliness and next thing was depression. So I put her in some activity. So loneliness is an incubation period for all the depression. People feel lonely and then they get depressed. Then whether it is depression or anxiety or ADHD in children, see, gut microbiome develops in the first 5 years. See, our body, the total number of genes in our body, it is just 20 to 22,000. All human body genes were about 20 to 22,000. But the number of genes in the microbiome in our body, it is more than 3 million. It is 22,000 versus 3 million. So gut microbiome or microbiome is more intelligent than us, more complex than us. Okay, so it is more powerful than us. So what happens is it takes multiple shapes of disrupting the body when it's not in good balance. What is the balance? For every 100 gut microbiome or for every 100 number of the microorganisms, 90 should be the good ones, 5 to 10 should be the bad ones. Now, this 5 to 10 is getting to 15, 20, 30. This is what is the imbalance, and this is what is causing a lot of havoc in the body. Of course, it happens as we age, around 50, 60, that's okay, but it is happening around 3 to 5 year old. The first 5 years where the gut microbiome is fully getting developed, first 5 years, it is very, very important that kids are not given any junk food. But is there any kid who is not eating junk food until 2, 3, 4 years? It's hardly impossible. Before the microbiome is not even fully developed, the bad microbiome numbers has been increasing, and that's the problem. And that's the problem. That is why we see digestion problems even for the kids, even before the microbiome is not fully developed. And from there, the program is already written, which means that after 10, they would be into early menstruation, and then they would be into non-menstruation, which means infertility and PCOS, from there to obesity and infertility. All this was written at the age of 3 and 5 before the microbiome was fully developed. Most of this was written. Okay, and from there, look, the fatigue, adrenal fatigue, the stress coming in, because every day there is lack of energy and lot of stress coming in. So adrenals are out, adrenal fatigue. Of course, continuous constipation, gas, flatulence, something is coming over. So that's there every day. And all the headaches, muscle pains and joint pains, and thyroid issues, the next big one after diabetes and hypertension in India right now. And of course, the fatty liver, psoriasis, acne, skin issues, everything. And the frequent cold, cough, everything. From the smallest thing to the biggest one. Okay, and when you look at it, what is the basic thing that's happened was the fundamental balance is disrupted. So if you were to start anywhere to reset your health, forget about gut, reset your overall health, you need to start from gut. That's the starting point. Okay, so this is how complicated it is, and this is how big it is. The symptoms grew bigger and bigger. Say, example, if someone had constipation at 35, 40, at 60, say if it is in the 40, he is not having a bowel movement once in a day or in a day where he had full non-veg or in any out meal. When he crossed 60, it is the opposite end. He is having a bowel movement only once in 3, 4 days. It is that big. So in 20 years, it is getting multiplied, every aspect of it. Okay, so this has to be addressed at the fundamental level, and sometimes you should be addressing 3, 4 things at once also. Yeah, back to Naren.
Yeah, so that's what we are going to do in the gut reset. Sagar.
Yeah, so what is that we are going to do in gut reset? Essentially, the first thing that we are going to do was this. We are going to do 3 important things. One thing, cleanse all the toxins. The first thing, cleanse the large intestine. Second thing, you need to provide food for the good microbiome out there. It is starving from years. So food for the good microbiome and add little more microbiome to the gut through the prebiotic and probiotic foods. The third one, refill it with all the essential nutrients so that you just maintain this health all along. So this is what we would be doing. We would be cleansing, we would be growing it, the good ones, and we would be refilling and maintaining it. And what is that you can expect out of this program? The things that you see on the screen. Say if someone is asking, my problem is little big or my problem is little small. You come anywhere between the starting of constipation to full-fledged Crohn disease or IBW or like that, or any celiac disease. All of us come anywhere between these two things. So what you can really expect in next 5 days through the gut reset program was, you would see your mood being improved. You could see your inflammation being reduced. You could see your immune system being improved, your energy levels being raised. You could see you could think clearly. You're having better energy all along the day. You could see there is less anxiety and depression, and you could sleep well. You could see the sensitivities with the food is being reduced. You could see some allergies being nullified. You could see clear skin. These are the things that you would see immediately after the 5-day gut reset. And from there, it is going to be different for every person based on your health needs, based on your age, your geographical area, and the kind of lifestyle you're having in the ethnicity, and all these things are taken. And from there, it's a complete different aspect altogether. But these are the things that you can expect out of this 5 days reset program.
And one last question, Sagar, before I get into explaining the schedule of gut reset. So, is this going to fix everything? I mean, some people definitely might have this question like, okay, I do 5-day gut reset. Does that mean my gut is going to be fixed totally? Is it going to stop everything? And what next?
This 5 days is like changing the path. It's like reversing the gear, starting your real health, a journey towards your real health and long-term health. This is what we do in these 5 days. After that, you need to continue it. How long you need to continue it and what aspects you need to continue it, this would be discussed from your health coaches. So it is not easy to just fix everything in just 5 days. But the things that we have discussed until now, the things that you see on the screen, these are the things that you would see the results immediately.
Thank you, Sagar. So, thanks to each and every speaker, Dr. Suma, Dr. Priyanka, Dr. Shri Priya, and Sagar. Now, it all boils down to one question. Okay, fine. What next? We got enough info to really work on our gut, to really get into the program and start resetting our gut, as Sagar just mentioned. So, what is the program gonna be? What exactly we will be doing from our community? What do we expect you to do? And who can participate? So, I think all of you must be part of few groups where one of your wellness coaches is proactively communicating with you about the schedule and the do's and don'ts about the program. And they'll again get in touch with you about what exactly is the registration process. This program is not open for everybody. This is only for those people who are registered into the gut reset. The registrations will be open from tonight, and the registration process will end by midnight of 6th, March 6th, midnight. So make sure you or any of your friends or relatives who is looking for a gut reset, make sure you put them in this program. You can forward this video, let them understand how important this is, because it is important to do this kind of things once every 6 months, once in every, like, we all have this basic sense of servicing our car regularly and servicing our bikes or cleaning your homes. But when it comes to this intricate machine, when was the last time you really serviced it? Right? So our servicing dates will be from March 9th till March 13th for the registered candidates. We'll start this program on March 9th, March 9th, March 10th, March 11th, March 12th, and March 13th. 5-day program. It's going to be a 5-day get reset program. And once we get the list of the candidates by 7th, I mean, whoever got registered into the program, we'll start communicating with those people about the whole details of the program. So what are all the things that will be included in the program? See, the factors that are going to affect the gut health. Number 1, movement. Number 2, the food that you take. Number 3, the stress. Number 4, the medications. So movement part, we have a community workout group which will provide to you, just in case you are already not working out or just not even doing those basic minimum movements. Every day morning 5:30 till 6:30, we provide our community access to you, where you can enjoy the workout, just the basic workouts, just to make sure that because movement is the new medicine, okay? And sitting is the new smoking, dangerous than smoking, in fact. So most of the present lifestyle has made us kind of immovable. So we are giving access to everybody who registers into this gut reset, into our morning workout sessions. So it will be fun. You can work out from the leisure of your home. So it will have workouts, health tips, and some soul cleansing sessions. And number 2, food. We'll be giving you what to eat, what not to eat, recipes. We'll provide you a very detailed document right from breakfast, lunch, dinner, the options that you can choose from, what are the foods that you should be including, what are the foods that you should be taking away, and hydration, water. It will be very detailed document which everybody can follow. And the good news about this is you can do it. Everything you can prepare from your kitchen. You don't need to procure anything from outside. Okay. So this is how you're going to create that, whatever Sagar just mentioned, increase the quantity of the good microbes. That is what is the objective of this 5-day session. And stress. Yes, stress has a very, very adverse effect on the gut microbiome. So we are going to include certain type of breathing methods which have a very powerful, they are scientifically proven to impact the health of your gut. So you are going to experience this, breathing methods and meditation methods. Certain experts are going to come and help you do that in this 5-day course. And yes, certain medications, if you're taking, you can just talk to your coaches who will be part of the groups that you're in, and there will not be any hindrance to this program. Okay. So We'll be taking care of all these details, folks. So the registrations will open from tonight. So make big use of this program, and wish you a tremendous health, and wish you all a very super gut. Okay, so all the best, and thanks for joining into the call.